Are you a downright anxious person? Confused on what to do next? Maybe a little lost in the constant social expectations that society throws at you based on age, gender norms, sexuality, etc.? Well, my name is Kevin, it rhymes with Evan, and this is my new podcast I'd like to call Trying to Be Social. And if any of those match for you, you might just fit right in here. To those who may be curious on the voice behind the mic, I'm just a 20-something-year-old living in Washington State, and you would think I've got it figured out, right? The followers, being liked, succeeding at life, and the whole shebang. I'm starting a podcast, for crying out loud. Well, you'd be very wrong. I'm a very lost, anxiety-ridden, overwhelmed in the ambiguity of life type of person. It's extremely unhealthy, I know, but hopefully one day that could change. And I like to challenge myself with this. See, I want this to be a place where anyone listening can take a moment and listen to my stories and my viewpoints and connect on a better level. Our human interactions are very interesting, to say the least. The good, the bad, the ugly of putting ourselves out there, the beauty there is coupled with the tumultuous pain that it is to be social. There's something very fascinating about that, beguiling even. Also, I'm just trying to use smart words to impress you, the listeners, so fingers crossed it's actually working. See, I started a YouTube channel a few years back that I dare not speak of to pursue the endeavor of pushing boundaries, chasing dreams, the delusional perception that it would all work out and it would fall right into place where it needed to and succeed. And the truth is, it was cringy AF. I am so uncomfortable looking at a camera lens and attempting to create content where all of me is shown and judged at any given moment, pretending people want to see my face. It's harder than it looks to produce visual content people want to see and that you don't have to pay too much money for. I ran out of ideas so fast and I was stuck at the drawing board too many times to count. It might be because I'm an Aries and can't multitask to save my life sometimes, or that I get bored easy. It might be the combination of being gay and Aries, where patience isn't always my forte. I have literally walked past a stranger on the sidewalk very passive-aggressively because they were just too slow for me. Like, get out of my way, I've got places to be. I'm Kevy. But I think a very good reason was the possibility of failure and my own defeat. I think a lot of people might be able to relate to that, though. What could be refreshing is that there's something about voicing an opinion in a more raw way with just a mic, with no expectation of a camera, and pushing an image that might better connect me with others. Possibly deeper thoughts you might not have guessed to dive into. A podcast might enlighten me, be better for me to grow as a person and reach others in a world sometimes feels downright lonely. It would be very foolish of me to think there aren't that many people like me out there. And I'd like to give us a voice, Let's not be so lonely together. And with inspiration hitting at any given time, in any certain situation where a light bulb might just appear out of thin air, and I might get to jot an idea down for an episode, though I hope the light bulb is at least sparkly and glittery, because I love those types of things. Though it might distract me a little. What were we talking about again? Podcast ideas. There we go. Where this podcast might take us is vast. I want to try to delve into anything remotely social that affects our everyday life, where I can hope to inspire listeners. I hope to do good by everyone. And I would think every other week might suffice, or as soon as I'm able to throw something together for y'all. I don't have the patience for a 30-minute thing, so I believe I can spare 8 to 15-minute episode. That sounds like a good goal, right? I mean, if you're like me, Lord knows I can't sit through more than 15 minutes of anything. My attention span goes quickly. I'm like a boy who threw a clock out the window. Prepare for the bad joke. I just wanted to see time fly. Yep. And I have ideas to touch on the subject of anxiety and depression, expectation versus reality, and even going as far as to explain my life and how I became the Kevin I am today. Though that is a major trigger warning, I'm not too sure how vulnerable I should be with that, but I'll take a gander at that. We can figure it out together, fam. I'm an interesting character, so I think that this could be an interesting podcast. Taking a darkable road down the path of self-discovery and other corny stuff. So, if you've been convinced by my abundance of charm, which I'm sure you have, Hansi, why don't you stick around and see what I have to offer? I'm very excited for a new chapter to start, and I can't wait for y'all to listen. With that being said, I hope you have a wonderful day. Stay golden, and the inventor of cotton candy was a dentist. Yep, William Morrison in 1897, with the help of confectioner John C. Wharton. That had nothing to do with this intro podcast, but hey, you'll learn something new today, probably. And it goes to show you, you can never trust those greedy little dentists. I'm telling you that right now. It's been since the beginning, man. Conspiracy. Anyway, lots of love, Kevin. Goodbye.